In Saturday's parade, you saw them, the float carrying this year's Juneteenth King and Queen, and just like the original royal presents 50 years ago, Judson, Price, and Crystal Peoples-Stokes have seen all those parades and festival events through the years, honoring their culture and celebrating the final freedom announcement in Texas and end of slavery as the Civil War came to a close. Especially for Price, year one in 1976, and a meeting of the Build organization led by William Gator, and an idea about a parade on Jefferson Avenue and Festival coming up to help build up that commercial corridor.
And I recall it was the bicentennial, the country's bicentennial. And so the executive director, Bill Gator, said, 1776, we weren't, free. What is something that we could do that's relate to us? He came back and told us about this Jubilee celebration, and then he said they call it Juneteenth. So he said, okay, thank you. And from there, that's where we went.
On pretty short notice, you were able to get, bands and the participants in the parade? What was that like?
That was amazing because we really didn't know what we were going to do. But what I found out is that those who were informed were very happy to be able to be in the parade.
But it happened back then, and then again, and again, and again, for a half century now, even with a switch to Genesee Street and with a slight original complication.
Over the 50 years, we never was rained out except for the first one. But we hadn't planned too much, and the people with food weren't too disgusted. But now it's so big that everybody around is just proud to see it.
Price, who is now 95 years young, was also proud as an industrial arts teacher to produce the pennants and especially the T-shirts with his silk screening skills, even to the point of his granddaughter writing this book about the experience, which really took root in the Queen City. Why?
The size of Buffalo. You have northeast, southwest. Most people know somebody from all over, so it's not difficult getting people together, because I've gone to New York and Washington, D.C., and cities are so large, they did not have a core like we have in Buffalo.
This year's Queen agrees.
If they can support something like this for that long and allow it to grow to that magnitude. So, and there's a lot of things people can say negatively about Buffalo and Black Buffalo, but you can't say anything negatively about Black Buffalo and its culture. I mean, it has just been solid. And I have been through cities throughout this country where it doesn't happen that way.
Even one of the Assembly Majority Leader's legislative leadership colleagues in Albany didn't quite get it.
The Speaker always mentions this, that he came to Buffalo during a Juneteenth event, and he asked me what was Juneteenth. And I was like, okay, aren't you from the Bronx?
What
y'all don't know what Juneteenth is?
But other than politics, Peoples-Stokes has fond memories of setting up a food vendor stand along the parade route, or even some hot hoops competition on the courts.
It was when I played with a women's basketball league, and we actually played a game during Juneteenth at the Rock Pile.
And personally, as the Juneteenth Queen, or Nana this year.
I am naturally a Nana. I do have a grandson and a great-granddaughter who are actually going to be on the float with me. Very humbling, honestly, very humbling and exciting. Just to think that I can, lead the parade that my people have been organizing for 50 years, and they want to put me in front of it. That speaks volumes to me, to my heart, and I'm so appreciative.
Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.